The village of Makaina is home to many school-aged children, but among them are two inseparable friends whose lives are deeply intertwined, Amina and Rachel. These two girls, neighbors and classmates, share a bond that goes beyond friendship. Amina's mother is a 25-year-old married woman who runs a small foodstuff store in the local market nestled beside the village farm. She is known for her beauty and grace, often seen wearing a vibrant African Ankara wrapper paired with long-sleeve top that elegantly reveals her shoulders. Her braided hair is styled in a half-updo and down look, accentuated by the gold necklace gifted to her by her loving husband, Festus. A hard-working mechanic, Festus met Amina's mother at a village social event, and their love story blossomed into a strong marriage. Amina, their daughter, is a cheerful girl who takes after her father's demeanor. She attends the village school with her best friend Rachel, where their bond flourishes both in and out of the classroom. Rachel lives with her mother, Anu, a resilient single parent who lost her husband, Manka, a few years ago. Despite the loss, Anu has raised Rachel with strength and determination, ensuring she has a stable and happy life. Every morning, Amina and Rachel head to school together, dressed in their neat green and yellow knee-length uniforms, complemented by shiny black shoes, white knee-high socks, and red backpacks. Their identical African braids, styled in intricate coils from the back to the front, are a testament to their shared taste and close friendship. Beyond school, the girls help each other with homework, attend church services together, and share countless moments of laughter and companionship. Their connection is a shining example of the deep friendships that can flourish in the simple yet vibrant life of Makaina village. Every day, Amina and Rachel head to school together, walking side by side, their backpacks nestled securely on their backs. Their school is located at the end of the village, and its structure is simple yet functional, 3 buildings made of mud and thatch, with large windows and wooden doors that allow the morning sunlight to pour in. The school is surrounded by lush greenery, with tall palm trees, banana trees, cocoa trees, and pawpaw trees stretching their branches over the land, creating a peaceful and natural atmosphere. The school is home to 150 pupils, all of whom are taught by 7 dedicated teachers, including the headmaster. Each day begins with a gathering in front of the headmaster's building. The students form rows, facing the school leader's office, where they stand together in unity. The national anthem is sung proudly, followed by a prayer that resonates across the group, setting the tone for the day. If there are any special announcements, they are made during this gathering, ensuring that all pupils are informed and ready to begin their lessons. This daily routine helps foster a sense of community and discipline among the students, and for Amina and Rachel, it's another day in the rhythm of school life, a place where friendships grow and knowledge is passed on. Amina and Rachel were in the same grade, but they were placed in different classrooms, which meant their schedules didn't always align. During lunch breaks, the students from the first classroom building would eat first, and the last 2 buildings would follow. This meant that Amina and Rachel, though best friends, would often have lunch apart. However, they would always meet up afterward to talk about their day and share stories. One day, during lunch, Amina found herself sitting alone under the large tree near the schoolyard, eating her meal. She had been looking forward to seeing Rachel, but when the bell rang for the last 2 buildings to go to lunch, something unexpected happened. A group of girls from another class, who had always envied Amina's close friendship with Rachel, started whispering behind her back. Amina could feel their eyes on her, but she tried to ignore them, continuing to eat her meal. After a few moments, the whispers grew louder, and Amina heard some of the girls mocking her friendship with Rachel. They called her names, teasing her for always being with Rachel, and said things like, "You can't even have your own friends." The words hurt, and Amina felt a tightness in her chest, but she tried to stay composed. As the teasing continued, Amina felt her stomach twist with insecurity. She had always been proud of her friendship with Rachel, but hearing these cruel words made her question herself. Was she being too dependent on Rachel? Were they too close? She began to feel isolated, as if the friendship she had cherished for so long was being torn apart by the jealousy of others. When the lunch break ended, Amina couldn't bring herself to go back to class, her mind swelling with doubt. She walked to the nearby grove of trees, hoping to find some quiet. She sat down under one of the trees, feeling overwhelmed by the situation, and the tears she had been holding back began to fall. She didn't want to face the others, especially Rachel, in this state. As the bell rang for Rachel's class to go to lunch, Rachel rushed outside, excited to see her best friend, just like she always did. But when she approached the tree, she stopped in her tracks. Amina was sitting on the ground, her face hidden in her hands, her lunch forgotten beside her. Rachel's heart sank as she knelt beside her friend. "Amina," Rachel said softly, "what happened?" Amina looked up, her eyes red from crying. She hesitated before speaking, unsure of how to explain. "The other girls," they said. "I always stick with you, and that maybe I'm too much. They made fun of me," Amina whispered, her voice trembling. Rachel's heart ached as she listened. She gently placed her hand on Amina's shoulder. "Don't listen to them," she said firmly. "You're my best friend, and nothing can change that. We are a team. Their words don't matter." Amina sniffled and wiped her eyes, but she was still shaken. "But maybe they're right. Maybe I rely on you too much. What if I lose my friends because of it?" Rachel shook her head. "No one can take away our friendship. You're strong, Amina. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. I'll always be here for you, no matter what." The two sat quietly under the tree for a while, Amina slowly calming down, the weight of the teasing beginning to lift from her shoulders. Rachel held her hand tightly, offering her the strength and support she needed. As the lunch break ended and the students began to return to class, Amina and Rachel walked back together, their bond stronger than ever. Amina realized that while others might try to tear them apart with their words, no one could ever break the unshakable friendship they shared. In that moment, Amina understood that true friends don't need to prove anything to anyone, they simply need to be there for each other. And from that day on, Amina and Rachel continued to face whatever challenges came their way, knowing that their friendship would always see them through. After the final bell rang, signaling the end of school, Amina and Rachel reunited outside the school gates, just like they always did. The sun was beginning to set, casting a warm glow over the village as the two best friends began their walk home together, side by side. Rachel could see the lingering sadness in Amina's eyes, and she was determined to lift her friend's spirits. As they walked along the dirt road, Rachel casually nudged Amina with her elbow and smiled. "You know, Amina, don't pay any attention to those idle banters. They're just words, and they don't mean anything," she said in a soothing tone. "Focus on your studies and our friendship, not on the gossip of some unintelligent students who fill their days with nothing but nonsense." Amina glanced at Rachel, still feeling a bit unsure, but Rachel's confident words gave her a sense of comfort. She took a deep breath, trying to push the thoughts of the teasing girls from her mind. Rachel, ever the optimist, added with a wink, "Besides, we both know they're just from bad and miserable homes." At that, both girls burst into thunderous laughter, their giggles echoing down the village road. It was as if the weight that had been pressing on Amina's chest had suddenly lifted. The sound of their laughter filled the air, and for a moment, everything felt light and carefree again. "You're right," Amina said, wiping a tear from her eye. "I don't need to let their words get to me. I've got my best friend, and that's all that matters." Rachel grinned. "Exactly. You've got me, and we've got each other's backs, no matter what anyone says. Let them keep talking. We know the truth." Together, they walked the rest of the way home, their laughter fading into the distance. The bond they shared was unbreakable, and as the sun dipped below the horizon, they knew that nothing, no amount of gossip or teasing, could ever come between them. Months passed, and the time to check the exam results finally arrived. Amina and Rachel, both filled with anticipation, hurried to the headmaster's office to see the results posted on the wall. As they approached the building, Amina's eyes caught sight of her former bullies. The group of 5 girls was standing in the front row, their faces etched with anxiety and fear. They were waiting for the announcement of their exam results, but Amina could already tell from their tense expressions that the outcome wasn't going to be good. When the bullies finally emerged, their faces were a stark contrast to the joyful expressions of Amina and Rachel. Their frowns were deep, and their eyes lacked the usual confidence. One of the girls was visibly upset, muttering to her friend, "I can't believe this. I knew I wouldn't pass." Amina couldn't help but notice their misery. She leaned toward Rachel and whispered, "Look at them, all of them, miserable and scared." Rachel raised an eyebrow and grinned. Without missing a beat, she replied, "Well, it serves them right." Both girls burst out laughing, the sound echoing through the courtyard. They found themselves reveling in the sight of their bullies' downfall. "Ha ha ha!" Rachel exclaimed, her laughter ringing with a sense of triumph. "It pays to be nice." Amina, feeling the rush of vindication, couldn't hold back. She shouted loudly, "Losers!" Her voice carried, making sure the bullies heard her. And in that moment, Amina's spirit soared. The years of torment, the teasing, and the cruelty she'd endured seemed to melt away in the face of their defeat. It was a sweet victory, but it wasn't just about the bullies, it was about the strength she had gained and the confidence she had found through her friendship with Rachel. As they stood there, in front of their bullies, who were now utterly defeated, both girls couldn't contain their excitement. They had worked hard, stayed positive, and now their results were proof of their effort. They were at the top of their classes, shining brightly amidst the darkness of their enemies' failure. Rachel turned to Amina with a bright smile. "You know, we should have a catchphrase for moments like this," she said. Amina raised her eyebrows. Rachel grinned widely. "How about positive vibes only?" Amina laughed, her spirit fully lifted. "I love it," she said. "Positive vibes only." The two friends jumped in the air, singing and dancing with joy, as if celebrating not just their excellent exam results, but the unbreakable bond of friendship they shared. They made their way home jubilantly, their hearts light and free, ready to enjoy their well-deserved Easter holiday break. Their laughter echoed down the village road, and the world seemed a little brighter with each step they took. It was a victory not just over the bullies, but a victory over self-doubt and negativity. And as they walked, Amina and Rachel knew that with each other by their side, they could face anything life threw their way.